Hello, my name is Jimmy Luna, and the research article I chose was improving the effectiveness of performance feedback by considering personality traits and task demand. So, performance feedback, of course, is like some type of performance appraisal where the feedback you get on a certain task, maybe you do at work or in school. And what they did was they compared task difficulty, personality, and the performance feedback as a whole. How they assessed for personality was with the Big Five. The Big Five consists of conscientiousness scores, neuroticism, extroversion, openness, and agreeableness. What they hypothesized based on the review of the literature was that conscientiousness and neuroticism alone will moderate the motivational effects of performance feedback and task difficulty. So the methods were participants were recruited through Amazon Mechanical Turk, an outline sampling tool. They then had to sign a consent form and went through demographical questions, a precursor puzzle, which was the tasks, and then given a $3 uh, compensation after debriefing. So, in order to assess the personality, a 100-item Big Five aspect scale was used, and then the precursor scale was also used to determine the tasks that they'd be doing to get comfortable with the tasks. Uh, so, what they did was in a positive feedback condition, participants were told that they were among the 5%, the top 5%. In a negative feedback position, they were told that they were in the bottom 5% of the participants doing it. They used non-specific performance feedback, so they were very vague with how they told them. So they did three tasks, or they were separating into three groups, three tasks. One was playful, one was neutral, and one was very difficult. So for the difficult task, they were given shapes on one side of the screen, and what they had to do was transfer them over to the other side, but they were all twist and turned and everything, and they were different sizes, so you kind of had to really think, like, is that really the one that goes there? In sample 2, it was the playful task, so you had to just play spot the difference. So basically, you look at two pictures and you look to see, well, does that one have a tail? That doesn't, type of deal. And then on the neutral condition, they just had to find a B in between the dots on the screen. And of all these, 36% were valid targets. So in other words, you could be going through a task on the sample, and there's a 36% chance that they're on the screen. That's just to control how much how well they were paying attention, basically. So in the difficult task, 650 participants, neutral task, 500 participants, and the playful task, 300 participants. In the results, 120, or where they were actually given the option to comment on the task after they were done with it. Uh, of that 120 participants who commented on the difficult task, 22% were pleased, 27% were neutral, and 51% were irritated. 140 participants were commented on the neutral task. Of that, 33% were pleased, 32 were neutral, 35% were irritated. And on the playful task, 51 participants commented, 49% were pleased, 39% were neutral, and 12% were irritated. So what does that conclude? Or on average, I'm sorry, participants spent 34 minutes completing the difficult task, 25 minutes completing the playful task, and 26 minutes completing the neutral task. So what the results found was positive feedback tends to have a stronger motivational effect than negative feedback. When people were given a negative feedback, whether it be on the playful or they only assessed the playful and difficult task because neutral was very insignificant in the findings. Like feedback really didn't tend to skew the results in the neutral part. So what they found was when you give a negative feedback, you're more likely to abandon the task or to rush through the task. Let's see. So in this model, two effects of the three interactions were emerged. task difficulty condition, and participants who were more agreeable. 3 significant interactions, which was conscientiousness, feedback, and difficulty. Neuroticism, feedback and difficulty, and agreeableness, feedback and difficulty were considered significant here. So those were the 3 personality traits that gave into what would happen with the performance feedback and the task difficulty. So what they found was their hypothesis was supported, that conscientiousness and neuroticism were among how people take feedback based on the tasks. And also, if you were more agreeable, you spent more time on the tasks. So because you you didn't want to disappoint the other person, essentially. So basically, what that shows is that performance feedback, in conclusion, should cater to the personality traits of that person in order for them to really be able to be motivated and to continue on with what they're doing. The reason why I chose this article, of course, is so I'm taking an HR class. I'm in personality of psychology, which is hopefully going to be my specialty. And I'm just a huge fan of Jordan B. Peterson. So I wanted to kind of tie these things all together because I work at HEB, and like I see all the time how feedback affects my coworkers, as well as if I do end up getting an HR position at HEB, I want to be able to kind of cater it to the individual based on that. So, thank you.